Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir I. Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Real Estate of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. Tonight I pick up a topic, essential skills for real estate success. It has two components. One relates to real estate professional, one relates to consumer who are engaging with real estate brokerage to recruit them to provide services. As you know, under TRESA, Trust in Real Estate Services Act of 2002, you have two choices. Either you engage with real estate brokerage and hire them as a broker representation or designated buyer or seller representation, or you are a self-represented party. Customer service is not applicable anymore. So whether you use the real estate services or you don't, this is important for you to know that. This became effective on 1st December 2023. Now, in order to be a successful real estate agent or a broker, there are combination of requirements, specialized skills, and key considerations and strict compliance. So when you are hiring someone, you look at their specialized skills that you need to buy and sell a property. Similarly, real estate professionals have to have those specialized education, and they follow strictly compliance. Our regulator, RICO, expect us to comply with TRESA, the law, and other regulations. So when you are choosing a real estate professional broker, you are looking into that scenario where you are hiring a specialized skilled person, which is a key consideration, and he also is in compliance because he has a good reputation. And this is very important. So, special skills for success in real estate, sales and marketing. The top thing that comes to mind as a buyer or a seller is negotiating power, ability to secure the best deals for the client. As a real estate professional, on the buyer or a seller, because they are a client, they want to have a stronger, aggressive negotiator, knowledgeable on their side in order to get the best deal. So it works for both ways. So you are looking for a realtor or real estate professional, broker or agent who has a negotiating skill, art of negotiation. I think we did an episode on our Awazi and T, and you can find that on Google, them on my YouTube channel. It's called Art of Negotiation, that give you what are expected in terms of art of negotiating a deal. So that give you some guidance. Persuasion and communication. This is clearly explained contract, which is agreements that you sign as a buyer or seller, or agreement of purchase and sale, or agreement of purchase, agreement of lease. And they understand the market trend and also property details. So you have to, when you are negotiating and hiring real estate professional, to make sure the person who is representing you can explain those documents they were presenting you to sign. It begins from the RICO information guide for residential and commercial that we email to you. Then we meet with you to have a conversation to discuss that you will hire us or listing or seller or buyer. Those come later on, but you have to understand the market condition. When you're showing a property, we want to know what's going on in the market in that area where the property is to be listed, for example, or you're going to buy it. And thirdly, property details, how much you know about the property. I had a session today with the City Pro team, and they were very excited about it. So we talk about these things today. So we do this education internally and give them a hands-on training. So property details means a lot. You just give me your address and don't tell me anything about the property. And give me 30 minutes and I give you everything you want to know about your property. And this is how thoroughly we do due diligence to gather the information about the property when we are either buying or we are listing for sale. The other thing you want to know is when you are hiring a real estate professional is digital marketing, proficiency in social media, search engine optimization, email campaign, and virtual tours. So if you're a real estate professional, we can survive without social media. You can see City Pro Realty or Realty Coffee Talk on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it, on television. You will find it, because this is the way to go forward. Because when we know we have a property, we are always promoting about the property. So we have exposure over and above the MLS system. Search engine optimization is created where you pick up the tagline about the specific property or type of business, and Google, when you search it, you are able to find faster. It shows up on your first page. And this is why it's very important. Or you're doing an email campaign. If you have a database that you know this buyers are interested and you created that, and you can email them, or virtual tours. This is why we try to do videos and photographs and also drone video for our listing, because that way you are sitting at home and you are able to see everything evolving in front of you, and you can see how the neighborhood look from outside. Shopping mall, the playground, the schools and traffic, highway, all that you are able to see through drone. So anyone who's working with you, you want to make sure they have that service available to you. And also as a real estate professional, use this system to make sure that you are successful. And listing presentation, when we're doing a listing, convincing seller to choose you as their agent. Why a seller will choose you as an agent to list your property? Because you have the negotiating skills, you have a persuasive and communication, you do digital marketing, you expose yourself, you created a brand name, and everywhere somebody search on Google, they will find you. And this is why you are approached. And now when you know about details about the property and you know exactly what the property is and how information is, and you present that, and your client will like it, and they give you the opportunity. And this is why being an agent is very important, to have a due diligence done. Now B section is called market knowledge and analysis. Local expertise, understanding the neighborhood, trends, school, district, zoning, bylaws, and pricing. When you are hiring a real estate professional, you expect that they understand the neighborhood trends. What's happening in the neighborhood? Price going up, price going down, and at particular specific time, because our information changes constantly. So at least to the point when you are meeting a real estate professional, they have up-to-date information about your neighborhood. And lots of people want to buy a property in a very specific school district. So when you are searching a property, to make sure your realtor understand the sensitivity about the school, because if you bought a property in an area that does not fall into the school that they want to send their kids, you'll be in trouble. So this is why, as a consumer, you have to hire someone who knows what he or she is doing, because you want to send kids to the school. A zoning bylaw. Zoning bylaws determine the type of use you have for your property, whether residential or commercial. And you want to make sure that you have a survey of your property. If you are planning to build a garden suite in your backyard, as you know, I am the founder and president of Tixon Construction Inc., which is HCRA licensed builder and vendor. And we always look at the property to make sure if you want to add a additional dwelling or garden suite on the backyard, you can do that. The additional dwelling unit can be attached with the existing home. It could be a garage, you can convert it. You can have a detached garden suite as an additional dwelling unit. And this is because it's allowed now. It has to meet certain setback, and this understanding the zoning setbacks are your adjacent property beside each other or front or the backyard. You have to have certain space because you already have a fences now. They are older homes, so fence are on the boundary, and you need to make sure that you are not interfering with the neighbor's property. So this is why you need to have a survey. A reason for that is that lots of people are buying homes without survey. And in case you need to convert your basement into a legal basement apartment or second dwelling unit, you need the survey. And on top of that, you need a floor plan, because your architect and planner, we need this to determine, particularly number one, your land, where the footprints are on your ground, where your property land is, and you want a footprint because you need to have a setback on both sides and the back and the front, and they need that. And there is no need for topographic survey, but you need the boundary survey with the footprint of the existing home. Number two, you need a floor plan. So now we are doing floor plan when you are seeking our engineering services to do the building permit for your basement or a second dwelling unit. We are able to send our engineers to do the calculation and create a floor plan, because you need that. If you have it, keep it handy is good, but need to have an engineer stamp drawing. So make sure, mostly people don't have it because you end up doing it because the builder never gave you the stamp drawing. They will just give you drawing. Now, and also pricing. When you are buying or selling, you have full understanding of pricing. You are creating comparative market analysis. You have a cost approach. You have an income approach. Lots of people are using income now for the basement apartment or garden suite or additional dwelling unit. They combine way to qualify for the mortgage. And I encourage people who are struggling to call us, my office, 905-569-9939, because I am the founder and president of Tixon Construction Inc., which is a HCRA licensed builder, and we can help you. We have a team. You can go to tixons.ca, TIQSONS.ca, and you can send us an email from there. We can provide you information. This is very important, that if you don't know the usage of zoning bylaw, you may be making a mistake. And this is very important when you talk to a buyer. Tell me what you want. Is this house live and work? Are you planning to live in there? Are you planning to rent it to the multiple units? And if there is a basement already finished without building permit, you remember there's going to be a cost for that. There will be, because there are certain areas you need the fire rated walls and ceilings, and you have to redo those things to make sure you are able to provide safe living environment for your tenant. So it's important. So this is very important for you to know. The other one is called comparative market analysis, accurately pricing properties. This is very, very important for a prudent professional, competent professional, that you create CMA. And normally we do CMA for sellers when you are listing a property, but I do CMA for buyer too, because I do live presentation with the buyer, my client, and make sure they understand what I'm talking about. And it's up to date. Zoom is an amazing thing. I use it a lot because each time you want to discuss something, put on Zoom. Also, you are interacting with the client. You know your client. There are so many FinTrack identification requirement for us. So unless you are meeting someone or this is your repeat client, you may want to go on Zoom and go through it and speak to them online live, and you are able to record the video, and so you know who you've been speaking to. So CMA is very important. You have comparative market analysis. We look at the most recent property sold, which is comparable to the property, and you have to do certain due diligence to make sure the guy knows it. If you come to me, you just give me address, and 30 minutes I have everything about your property. You didn't even tell me nothing about it. Your property taxes, all those information about your house, square footage, land, everything, I will have it with me to confirm that. So then I use those as a computation as part of creating CMA, because it's very, very important to know where you stand. You have to go seller's mind, who is listing the property, and then you can make a prepared strategy for the buyer based on your data you collected. You can collect the data. If you don't know how to use it in the advantage of your client, there is a challenge. So this is very important for you to do that. Investment insight, advising clients on return on investment, rental yields, and appreciation potential. So when you are buying a property, are you looking at a return on investment? Of course, you are making the biggest decision of your life. You want a good return on investment. And this is why it's very important. You look at that, if you can rent the property, how much rental you will come, and also what is the potential, appreciation, because you look at the trend, and your realtor can explain to you how long this property is in the market, or this property has been there, was built so many years ago, and prices has escalated to the point. Most property, according to TREB database, after 10 years, the value of the property doubles. And this is where you can ask me about your property. Give me a call, 905-785-9923. Instantly, I will give you the value of your property, because approximately. But remember that I cannot give you opinion anymore. You need to be my client in order for me to give you information, because TRASI prohibit us to give any opinion, guidance, or providing a service to you without engaging with a real estate professional. And this is the difference, that we will want you to provide your full name and email so we can send you RICO guide. And after we go through and call you back and discuss the RICO guide, then you decide if you want us to help you, and then we go from there, whether it's a seller representation or buyer representation. We'll talk about that when you need it. Now, client relationship management. This is very important. We do networking. How we can spread the message? MLS, social media, then networking. Building connection with buyers, seller, lenders, and contractors. We have networking capability. You remember, Realty Coffee Talk is the power of connectivity. We have a global connectivity conference every month. For the last 50 months, we have been doing it. So we have Zoom meetings every time. So we go to volunteer, we have networking with real estate professional event. These are created because you never know which buyer can bring, our real estate professional who's in my network bring me an offer on my listing. And this is why it's important to have a network. So if you are on LinkedIn, and Facebook, TikTok, all those, Instagram, Twitter, all these are social network where you know all buyer. Whoever is living after food and clothes, they need a place to sleep. And this is where the buyers are, or the sellers are who are selling it. So regardless of any profession, everybody will need a house. And this is why it's very important for all of you to know that the networking is very important. And obviously lenders do the lender, and also contractor. We work with them. I'm also a builder. We have a huge network of contractors that we deal with. So we are able to share the information about listing to buy. And this is very important for consumer to understand. Whoever has the better network will have a create potential to sell your property faster. We're going to take a short break and we'll come back and continue our conversation on essential skills for real estate success.
अगर आपको दुबई या मिडिल ईस्ट नुमा जेवरात की तलाश है तो आपको दूर जाने की बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं। आज ही हमारे मिसिसागा रिजवे स्टोर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स। हमारे पास सोने के बेहतरीन कंगन, कड़े, झुमके, हार और सोने के सेट्स भी दस्तयाब हैं। शादी हो या मेहंदी या कोई भी फंक्शन, आपकी पसंद के तमाम जेवरात आपको हमारे स्टोर में मौजूद मिलेंगे। आज ही हमारे स्टोर पर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, 3465 प्लैटिनम ड्राइव, यूनिट 99, मिसिसागा। या फिर कॉल करें 905-828-0009। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, फरमाइश आपकी, गारंटी हमारी।
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस, जहां आपकी तमाम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस की जरूरियात पूरी होंगी। हमारे पास आपको हर टॉप ब्रांड मौजूद मिलेगा, चाहे वो व्हर्लपूल हो या एलजी, सैमसंग हो या जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक्स। हम इन सब के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। आइए और हमसे 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ उठाइए। हम आपको तमाम अप्लायंसेस सबसे बेहतर और सस्ते दामों पर फराहम करेंगे, ये हमारी गारंटी है। विजिट आवर वेबसाइट www.dixieelectronics.ca या फिर हमें कॉल कीजिए 905-625-5900. At Dixie Electronics and Appliances, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
HK Movers, home, offices, apartments and delivery, big or small, we move it all.
HK Movers.
Local and long distance, we also ship cars, Keller transport and moving services.
For service with a smile, give us a call.
Call Mr. Harminder 416-524-6704.
416-524-6704 पे.
Visit 140 Advance Boulevard, Unit number 10, Brampton.
Long distance moving specialist.
HK Movers.
HK Movers.
Today, more than 10 million people worldwide are living with Parkinson's disease, a relentless neurological condition that affects their movement, their thinking, and every aspect of their life. Every 6 minutes, someone somewhere in the world hears the life-changing words, "You have Parkinson's." This diagnosis forever alters not only their life, but also the lives of their families. But the challenges of Parkinson's go far beyond the physical symptoms. For millions, the cost of treatment is simply unaffordable. Imagine being forced to choose between managing your illness and feeding your children. This is the harsh reality for many. Especially in low-income countries, the situation is devastating. Millions are left untreated, their symptoms worsening with every passing day. For some, the cost of a single bottle of medication is more than their entire monthly income. There is no cure for Parkinson's. But there is hope. Organizations like the World Parkinson's Program are stepping in where the system falls short, providing life-saving medication, mobility aids, and education to those who would otherwise go without. But this hope depends on you. For just $40 a month, you can provide life-changing medication to a Parkinson's patient, giving them the strength to face another day.
Thank you, World Parkinson Program, and continues to help all persons with Parkinson in Africa. Thank you.
Visit the World Parkinson's Program website today. Be the reason someone with Parkinson's can take their next step.
Think you're all set? Think again. Imagine this. You've got a great house, a loving family, and everything's smooth sailing. But have you thought of one most important thing, protecting your loved ones? Life's uncertainty can strike anytime. Accidents, illnesses, or worse. Have you ever thought what happens to your family's future then? Who will cover the bills, the mortgage, or your kids' education? At Expert Financial Services, we specialize in safeguarding families just like yours. We offer a range of insurance policies tailored to your unique needs, from term life and whole life to critical illness and disability insurance. Taking out an insurance policy when you're young is surprisingly affordable. Don't wait for the unexpected to happen. Act now. Call Expert Financial Services at 647-838-1952 for a free no-obligation quote. Remember, no medical required in some cases. Senior policy and die counts available. Protect your family's future today. As little as $1 a day can bring you peace of mind. Call now, 647-838-1952. Expert Financial Services. 381952. Expert Financial Services.
And welcome to Realty Coffee Talk. When I was in Canada, around the world, my name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Rose Institute of Canada and broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. And we're talking about essential skills for real estate success. So when buyers and sellers are hiring and recruiting real estate professionals, they need to look into those skills that I'm talking about. And most important thing also is a customer care or customer service, maintaining trust and responsiveness. So when you have not only you hire a person that he perform the service, but also remain connected with the client after the sale of the house, the deal have closed, and they care. And when they call them for ask questions or they need some help, maybe not related to real estate, but is connected. They need maybe a mortgage guy, or they may be a painting guy or a plumber guy. Because you have a huge network, you are able to support and be responsive to them, and you will always constantly be contact. So if you have a real estate professional who is working with consumer, who taking care of the client, and they respond to them quickly, I have not lost a single client in 20 years I've been in real estate now. More than 20 years. Not a single one. You know why? Because they call me midnight, I answer. They call me 5 o'clock in the morning, I will answer the question. Answer their phone. They email me. If I'm up, I reply to them right away. This is why it's very important. And real estate professional, you know, when you are creating a lead generation, prospecting with referrals and cold calling or open houses, there's so many things that you are doing it to maintain relationship and do more business. If you maintain good relation with your existing client, they will be your referral partner. They will give you referral because you have done a good job. So don't let it go. And obviously, technology and skill set is very important. And we use sophisticated software, managing client database to make sure that we are connected with them. And we keep track of our deadlines and paperwork and contingencies when we're dealing with it. When you sign an agreement of purchase and sale, first of all, you have an agent, buyer, or seller. There are deadlines, commencement and expiry date. They are required in there. So that's a deadline. You know that your contract is you need to find somebody a house, you sell a house in a certain time frame. Now you also have a paperwork. When you are doing all the paperwork, sending electronically, and we are storing electronically as well as the paperwork. Send them to sign, Authority Sign or DigiSign, whatever the software that you're using. This is very important to have a communication. And be prepared to attend your client. And virtual tours, we have a 3D tools, drones, e-signing, platform, DocuSign, DigiSign, Authority Sign, all these. So if you are engaging with real estate professional who is very sophisticated and high-tech, he can do all of that, you feel comfortable by hiring it. So key consideration for success is business mindset. How important is mindset? Consistent prospecting, we are always talking. Sometimes we look at the for sale by the owner. We have expired listing. Remember that I mentioned to you, expired listing, you have to look at the MLS data to make sure it doesn't say that you can go directly to the seller. If it's restricted, don't go there. Always, if you have a client interested in the property, talk to the listing agent who have listed the property before, because they have a relationship. And obviously, referral is the best business. My 99% business is referral, because I don't spend too much money on advertisement or big signs of the city. No, I get referral all the time. And time management. This is very important in real estate. Balancing showing, because you are selling and buying. So you have a different type of work involved. And you need to manage your showing. Administrative work, because you need to make sure you're complying with the TRESA and doing all your paperwork. And also follow up with clients. And this is very important. And financial planning. This is also planning. Managing irregular income. You remember, real estate professionals are self-employed. Majority of them, particularly residential. Commercial, maybe some hired people, but residential, you are 100% as independent contractor. So you have an income, irregular income. Sometimes is more, sometimes is less. You need to manage. You have to pay taxes and also business expenses. Having a nice, half-decent car, to food expenses, stationery, printing, advertisement, social media. Those are the costs that we have to carry, and it's very important. And then you have adaptability, and resilience. This is very important. The market fluctuates. Being a real estate professional and also educating your client, adjusting strategy in shifting market, buyer versus seller's market. So you are able to educate your client, and the consumer expect that. And this is why we are telling consumer, if your client if your real estate professional interviewing doesn't talk about that, doesn't explain you anything, you feel comfortable to engage and hire that person. There are lots of real estate professionals. You can call me directly, 905-785-9923. I'd be more than happy to help you. And also, when we are doing real estate, we don't get all the listing. We don't get all the buyer. We have some rejections. And we cannot convert them kind of leads, the potential. But we need to be persistent in doing what we're doing, and we believing is successful. And the biggest part of real estate is continuous learning. I think I always said, we never stop learning, because life keeps teaching us. Stay updated with the law, because law changes. Recently we have a TRESA. I noticed lots of agents are still using REBA in their Schedule B. It has been a long time now, over a year. Since 1st December 2023, TRESA came in effect. All reference to REBA should be gone. But lots of people are still using that. I notice it. They should not. So technology, because technology helps you to communicate with a client, a potential client. And trend, you need to understand the market trend. Where's the market? That's why we talk about every first week of the month when we on the show, we have a Toronto Regional Real Estate Board Market Watch report we share with everyone. So we tell you what the trends are, and specific to your property, you have to call me so I can give you your market update, provided that you are going to engage with me. I'll convince you that I will be your real estate professional. Reputation and branding. This is very, very important. Online presence. Why we will do our online presence? Why is important for the consumer? Maintaining a professional website is very important because consumer get to see that. Google My Business, because this is important. We are very fortunate. We have a 5-star rating on City Pro Realty. You can Google that, 5-star rating. And also social media. Because if you are present, means it's a virtually you are available to the public 24/7. If you are distributing flyer, meeting somebody, you're walking to a certain location, certain streets, certain houses. But 24/7, anybody can Google on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, what other platform, and they can find that out. And it's also very important to have building our credibility through client feedback, because the client will give us a feedback. This is why we have 5-star rating on Google. And ethical standard, which I focus on always, avoid misrepresentation. Not only real estate professional, also we want seller to disclose everything. There is a latent defect form 299 that we use. If your basement is not legal, disclose that on form 299 that it was built for personal use and it was done without building permit, because you don't plan to rent them, even though you may already have a side interest. But remember that without a building permit, without securing a second dwelling occupancy permit from the city, if you have a fire or something happen, you will not get money from the insurance company. So you need to have a legal basement apartment. You can call directly. My cell number is 416-451-3489. I'm a licensed builder. We have engineering staff who can do all the design, secure building permit for you. And we can build it for you too as well. And that's what the construction company Tixon.ca does that. You can call me directly, or you can go to our website, tahir@tixon.com, TIQSONS.ca, and I can help you. And also, conflict of interest is a big thing in real estate. If you are acquiring a property for a buyer client, or you are disposing of a property for a seller, you need to disclose that. Conflict of interest, if some relationship is in the part, is rather to disclose them than not to disclose. And I always disclose whether it's you think this not going to happen, but you disclose it to make it clear from your chest. Compliance and legal consideration. This is very important. Ontario licensing. You know, everyone who is practicing in real estate, we have now, you need to have a license. I just remember that. I want to welcome Mohammed Musa, broker. I want to welcome Fazal Musa as a broker, and also I want to welcome Muhammad Shahab Abdullah, salesperson to City Pro Realty. They have joined our team. Congratulations, and looking forward to working with you to serve our clients. We deliver value to our clients. So they have joined our brokerage, so I wanted to make sure they are recognized. Also, broker versus agent. When you are dealing with a broker, broker record and the agent, there is a distinction. Broker have a higher licensing requirements, and more exam, more experience. And after salesperson spend 2 years, they pass the exam during this articulating period, or after that, they can become only broker after completing 2 years. And we have now keeping up with the CE, continuing education credits. Because RICO want us to do training every 24 months before they renew it. So I just finished my renewal, so I'm good until 27. So And we always constantly doing the training. This is very, very important. Legal and ethical obligations. This is very important. Fiduciary duty. Act in the client's best interest. Loyalty, confidentiality, and disclosure. And obviously, when we are dealing with there are other laws, non-residence speculation tax. And when you are dealing with a person who is not a Canadian citizen, he is not a permanent resident, and he's not resident in Ontario or Canada, they fall into non-speculative residential tax. So that means anybody who is buying it, you may end up 25% taxes, Ontario taxes, because federal has given some exemption to the prohibition of buying a property in Canada, single homes, but there are exceptions. If you are working with a working permit and you have 183 days, you can buy the property, but the Ontario government has 25% non-speculation tax that you have to pay, and this you have to be very careful. And also, it's very, very important about revealing material defects. This is, remember I mentioned about Form 299, latent defects, leaks, foundation issues, or anything. Disclose it. And relationship clarify with the buyer, seller, or both when you have a multiple representation. We have so many episodes on this to make sure that you understand that. And we are required to have a complete, accurate paperwork, and dealing with the trust funds under TRESA. Your deposit is protected. Make sure that you check the company that is coming to you to represent you to make sure they are licensed. Go to rico.on.ca, check the brokerage name, who you going to give the money, make sure they're licensed, because your deposit is protected if you're dealing with a licensed, registered, current with RICO brokerage, then you have no problem. And there are anti-fraud issues that we are supposed to be protecting our client. So avoiding mortgage fraud, straw buyers, and misrepresentation, we have to be careful about that. There was an episode on how to avoid mortgage fraud is on YouTube. You can go to realtycoffeetalk.com and you can search this. It's very, very important for you to do that. And we are specialized. Some people deal with the luxury home, some people with commercial or rental. And again, if you have a team of people working together, you all have a pool of talent within your group. And it's very important for real estate profession to know exchange rate, average sale pricing, client satisfaction is very important, and stay compliant. You want to avoid fines or license suspension. And this is why I ask consumer to go to rico.on.ca and see if there is any disciplinary action against the agent, broker, or the brokerage. It's very important. So at the end, I would say, by mastering these skills of strategies and legal requirements, you will build a thriving real estate career for yourself, and you will serve your client and deliver valuable service. Thank you for watching this episode. You can go to realtycoffeetalk.com, or you can go to my YouTube channel at the rate of Realty Coffee Talk and provide us feedback and what you like about it. If you have any comments, and I will look forward to your feedback, and we appreciate your interaction with us. We thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. at Awaz in Canada, around the world. May God bless you all. May God bless Canada. Bye for now.